I like this cartoon. We have Jesus standing outside of his tomb and looks like an angel, and he says, "Now, I want you to fold up my burial clothes. Wait for Mary. And remember that this is serious. No hiding and yelling, boo." The resurrection of Jesus is going to be a big enough surprise without some angel hiding around the corner saying, boo. Is delirious how you would describe the resurrection of Jesus? Well, that's how the other disciples viewed the story of the women when they came back from the tomb. Luke 24:11 says, "It seemed to them like an idle tale, folly, nonsense." The Greek word is the word leiros, where we get our English word delirious. But they were not delirious. 1 Corinthians 15:5 and 6 says, "Jesus appeared to Peter, then to the 12, then to more than 500 brothers at one time, most of whom are still living." In other words, go and talk to them. People saw the resurrected Jesus. He walked on this planet for another 40 days, a length of time, addressed even a crowd of up to 500 people, and many are still alive. Go and talk to them. Do you know, I believe them. The word is clear. I am now also a witness of this Jesus, and so are you. 1 John 4:13 says, "He now lives in us and we in him." We are not delirious. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Here's something for the young in heart. Well, here we are, folks, at the worship building that we've come to know and love. Oh, it looks a little bit dead in here, doesn't it? Where are the people? Actually, it does remind me that Billy Graham once said, one day someone is going to tell you that Billy Graham has died. He said, "Don't believe a word of it. I will be more alive that day than I ever was." Well, that's how I view this. Look at the band. Oh, it doesn't look like there's too many playing today, but actually in my heart, I have a feeling that in their lounge rooms, they might be making more noise and getting it together before God with all of his holy angels than they would ever on a Sunday morning. This is the church. Let's go up to the altar. Well, here's our altar. What's this rabbit doing on the altar? You know, I've always wondered what a rabbit has to do with Easter. You know, it's very secular if you ask me. We buy all these eggs and there's a rabbit and there's chooks and all sorts. Well, I've been thinking about the rabbit, and somebody gave this to me last year, and I'll save him for today. Because when we look at our stained glass window, it struck me something important about the rabbit and about Jesus rising from the dead. Firstly, I love the fact that there's a sun in this picture. You know, Malachi 4 says, "The sun will rise with healing in its wings." You know, the business of darkness is always dispelled by the Son of Life, and we get healing from him. But then my attention went not just to the sun, but also to this rabbit burrow. Have you noticed the rabbit burrow in many of the Easter stories? There it is. You know, when a rabbit comes out of a burrow, well, after some time, you soon notice all these other rabbits coming out, and there seems to be never-ending supply of rabbits. That made me think of Jesus. When Jesus rose from the tomb, when he came out of the tomb, we come out with him. As we believe he's the first fruits of the new creation, we then join him in this new life. Like all the rabbits who come out of the tomb, we follow Jesus. That's the story. We'll now listen to the Bible reading from John chapter 20, verses 1 to 18, which will be followed by another song.